Hello, it's me, Kyle. It's 7:37 in the morning. I woke up to take my gal to work, and I didn't want to go back to bed, so I was up playing video games, which is probably why I sound some tired. You know, made myself some coffee, turned on some video games, having a good time, and I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, a movie that has been didn't get some good reviews, and I've never watched it. I've watched some breakdowns of it because it's fun to see when movies go so badly, but I haven't watched it myself. But there is a scene that I have seen that, I guess Benedict Cumberbatch becomes a zombie and then goes to help out the American lady, America Chavez. And it's getting there during the big boss fight, and Doctor Strange is like, you just gotta believe in yourself. And I was thinking about that a lot as I was playing video games. I was thinking so much about it that I stopped paying attention and I died. And so I guess I'll just come and talk about it instead of think about it. That's what you're here for, right? That's why we're doing this, so we can just kind of think. Or I guess maybe I can. Maybe I should stop sounding so altruistic. This is purely a selfish venture. But hey, you're along for the ride, so yeah, maybe I'm doing some good here. You just gotta believe in yourself, buddy. You just gotta feel good about yourself. You gotta love yourself. Come on, you are right. You don't have to fight for other people's respect or validation. They should just accept you as you are because you are your true self and you're living your best life. And all of that mental vomit that I heard a lot of, that I have heard a lot of, that I still hear a lot of. I remember growing up, and I wasn't it's not like I could see the future. I'm not even going to try to go there. But what I did notice growing up was that there was definitely a lot of this. And I bought into some of it, by the way. But a lot of this self-esteem, the self-esteem movement, I suppose. We were being told a lot that, you are special and perfect and you should love yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't try to change, but really you're perfect just the way you are, which I don't know what that means. It sounds kind of contradictory. It's like, you're perfect. Okay. So do I have to do anything? It's like, well, yeah, you gotta, you gotta learn skills. You gotta go to school. You gotta learn stuff. You gotta go to college and improve yourself. It's like, oh, all right. Well, so I'm not perfect. No, you're perfect. Just the way you are, and you should love yourself. And I go, oh, so all right. Well, I don't need to go to school. I know everything. I'm perfect. I know I'm being a little literal here, and maybe I'm not making a very good steel man of these ideas. But taken to its logical conclusion, this is kind of what it sounds like. You should love yourself. Well, who is myself? I might be repeating myself from a previous episode as I've not yet written down everything I've talked about in my laziness, but it'll go somewhere new, I promise. But yeah, who am I to? Okay, so am I loving Kyle, the body and the mind? Do I just like the mind and I accept that I got to go to the doctor to take care of the body sometimes? Do I love the body, but I got to do philosophy to take care of the mind? Or who am I loving here? What's going on? And I noticed this a lot growing up. A lot of my friends had parents who said things like this. We had posters about it in public school. Just self-love, self-love. You got to love yourself. No matter what anybody says about you, you have to look within yourself and see the beauty of your inner soul. And that's great. I get it, right? You get where it's coming from. You really do. I don't think it's malicious. I don't think it's some kind of cultural attempt to make people weak. I get it where it comes from. You got these insecure people who are like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life. It's like, no, don't worry. You're great. Feel better. Because it's this immature attempt to make everybody feel good about themselves. And it doesn't work. I mean, imagine telling someone who's, I don't know, let's just take it easy here, depressed. They're a little depressed. They're not waking up on time. They're sleeping in too late. They don't have a job. their girlfriend or boyfriend is kind of falling out with them. They don't have a good relationship with their family. And you get told, well, you should just believe in yourself. It's like, what do I believe in? Who am I? What? Something's going wrong. And it's this, oh, that makes me a little sad just thinking about it. My goodness, give me a second. Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, really picture that in your head, this person that's just lost out there, who doesn't know what to do, who hasn't been given very good guidance because maybe their support system growing up was terrible and their school system was awful, and they never ran into any good mentors, and they never ran into people with an ounce of sense in them, and they just grew up like a ping pong ball bouncing around. And then they get to the point in their life where everything's falling apart around them, and they're being told, yeah, just believe in yourself. It's like, thanks. Okay, I'll just believe in myself. And I don't know, maybe I'm not doing a very good job of articulating why this makes me so frustrated and sad to think about. But I'll try here. And I don't know. I feel like when you tell someone in this position that they just got to believe in themselves, they just got to love themselves. No one should have to respect you. You just got to believe in yourself. They don't even know what that means. I don't even know. Honestly, the more I'm saying it during the 6 minutes I've been talking so far, I don't even know what that means. Believe in yourself. I am living a life, not me personally. This is a hypothetical, back to the hypothetical depressed man. I'm living a life where I can't seem to have a long relationship with anybody, friend or romantic. I can't seem to hold down a job. I know there's something wrong. You just got to believe in yourself. Thanks. Okay, I guess I'll just love myself. And then if you don't keep asking, you don't keep fighting this, and you just fall into it, then you start to see the world as the problem. It's not you. You're perfect. You love yourself. You believe in yourself. It's the rest of the world that's stopping you from all these successes. It's all those bad relationships. It's all their fault. It's not your fault. It's your parents' fault. It's not your fault. It's the manager's fault. He fired you because whatever. He didn't like the cut of your jib. It's not because you didn't show up on time. It's not because you didn't smile and you didn't try. It's because they didn't like you. It's all their fault. It's not your fault. You're perfect. You should accept yourself the way you are. You should believe in yourself. And I can't think of a worse thing to tell anybody. First of all, what's there to believe in? I mean, I don't know about you. I'm 26 years old. That's right, yeah. I'm 26 years old. And, I feel like I got a good, solid chunk of stuff figured out. And the reason I have some of those things figured out, again, I know nothing, but I have to operate on some knowledge. So I think I do know some things. And those things that I think I'm at least comfortably knowledgeable about, I've had the absolute honor and privilege and luck, really, of just being around people who gave me all that. It was osmosis. I was just in the right place at the right time, coupled with a little bit of skill on my end and hard work, and boom. And so, if someone were to look at me now and say, Kyle, you just got to believe in yourself, I'd go, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying there. I can try to sum up a few ideas that would be myself, and then I can believe in them, and then I could make them work in life. Yeah, okay, there's an argument for that. I still think it's a bad one, and it will fail in the end if I don't have something else to believe in besides myself. But, you could still, here's a starting point. Okay, there's an argument. There's an attempt at a steel man there. I get that. But when you tell a kid or someone who has not been as fortunate as I am, or you tell someone who might not be who's slowly waking up to this idea of consciousness and life, if you tell them, you just gotta believe in yourself, they're like, what? Because they might not have a self, really. Of course, okay, this sounds, oh gosh, see, this is the thing. I don't know how to word this. I'm not saying that. Of course they have a self. They have a consciousness, and they have a personality that they are developing through years and years and years. But, I've met people who it doesn't seem like they have a self. They're kind of just going through life based on whims. And if you told them to believe in themselves, then believing in themselves might just mean staying at home and doing nothing and living with the parents and just being an artist. You know, I don't have to work because I want my true creative self to shine. And if I work, it dampens my creative spirits. You know, maybe that's what they do. And then they go and they paint a black circle and they go, oh, yeah, that's how I feel inside. It's like, no. Sorry. Bad idea. You know what I want to believe in? I want to believe that there is, or are, let's go with are. I want to believe that there are certain ways of being that are better than others. I don't buy this whole it just depends on the person, man. You know, like everybody's different. Different strokes for different folks. Like, I get it. It's true. Some people don't like pickles and some people like pickles. Yeah, 100%. And I don't think that's I don't think I am wrong for not liking pickles, just like I don't think my girl is wrong for liking pickles, even though I think it's absolutely disgusting. Like, go for it, sweetheart. You know, it's your thing. Your taste buds are adapted to the horrible, awful taste of pickle. Actually, the taste of the pickle isn't the bad part. It's the texture. It's just so. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I think the whole it just depends on who you are thing is like a cop out. It's like this really cheap and easy way of like giving life advice. Well, man, you know, you like driving drunk at night. Well, man, if that's your thing, man, that's your thing. It's like, no. Right? We have lines, obviously, in society that we do not allow each other to cross. One of which is drinking and driving, right? You have someone say, well, I drive better when I'm drunk. It's like, do you? Maybe. You drive better when you're buzzed, but you don't drive better when you're drunk. Don't even try that, buddy. That's an excuse that you give yourself. And we don't allow that. If we find out that you're drinking and driving, especially if you've caused an accident, you're in trouble. You're not looking so good. But why though? If it's just different strokes for different folks, then, well, that's their thing, man. You can't get on to them about that. You can't. This is the thing. You can't draw boundaries if there are no boundaries. If everything is permissible and it just depends on the person, then you can't draw boundaries. Or if you do, then you have to be in a position of tyrannical power to draw those boundaries because they have to be so hard set after you've let everything else go and let it all be free love and stuff. Because then you have to go, oh, crap, it's gotten out of control. Now we really got to cut down on this. Until there are some things that you can't do just because you like them. Buddy, pal. You're not my buddy, pal. Yeah, I don't buy this. It just depends on who you are thing. I think it's cheap and easy. And I want to believe that, you know, this is the thing, right? If I was told, it just depends on who you are, you know, you don't have to be successful financially. You don't have to get married to have kids. It just depends on who you are. It just depends on what you want to do, man. Well, how do I know what I want to do? I feel like I learn about, I feel like I was at work the other day. I don't feel like this happened. I was at work the other day, and I learned about this job that exists out there that I thought, well, shoot, you know, if I knew about that 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe I would have started aiming at that because that sounds pretty darn awesome. You know, you can't tell someone that it just depends on who they are, and you can do whatever you want in life as long as you're not hurting each other. It's like, yeah, well, fine, but who I am isn't exactly the best arbiter of these decisions, sir. It's like, I don't know what's best. And that's what makes me sad is that, you know, we're telling people all over that you're perfect the way you are. You should be happy with yourself and love yourself, and that whatever you want to do in life is great. It just depends on who you are. And then you get these people who go out into the world who are like, what the fuck do I do? Help me. Is there anybody out there? What do I do? And they go, nothing, man. It just depends on what you want to do. It's like, no, it can't be true. That cannot be true. This is such a weird emotion I'm feeling. I'm smiling and laughing while also tearing up at the same time. This is crazy. Because this really strikes me deeply. because I was kind of in that position. Like I said, lucky enough to have solid parents and a solid route of, I've worked like 15, almost 16, 17 maybe jobs in my life, and I've had such a great opportunity, a great mix of people to meet and soak up knowledge from. And even then, when someone tells me you just got to believe in yourself and you got to love yourself, it's like, I don't know what that means. You know what I do know? I do know that for quite some time now, people have been bonding up together in pairs of two and having kids. And so maybe, just maybe that's something I should do. I don't know. If I know nothing else, like the immature, unknowledgeable, really, the part of me that really knows nothing thinks, and I know I've said this before, thinks that I can just get on a boat and sail off into oblivion and drink the rest of my life away on a boat, sailing around the world, drinking rum, and hooking up with islanders, and maybe running a bar. To me, right, the little animal inside of me goes, yeah, it sounds great, man. It sounds like a real cool idea. You get margaritas on the beach all the time, but I don't even know if I understood what I just said there. And that's not true. Maybe it is. Maybe it is, Kyle. Maybe you just got to do what you want to do. You know, it just depends on who you are, right? It doesn't matter. As long as you're not hurting yourself, it's okay. Or other people, it's okay. It's like, well, I am actually hurting people by just disappearing, you know? Or at least I'm not helping as many people as I could if I stayed here. I'm not creating something with someone. And I'm not helping that someone create something with me. I am leaving the world and not adding to it in any way after it's done so much work to get me here in the first place. And you think that my little brain is smart enough to understand what's best for me? No. And I do not mind holding up my hand and saying, I do not know what's best for me all the time. I'm a 26-year-old man who has done okay so far, but I have a hard time keeping money in my bank account. I have a hard time saving money. I have a hard time eating right. I have a hard time working out. I have a hard time disciplining myself. The only thing I'm really good at, the two things I'm really good at is my job, whatever job it is at the time, I'm very good at it. I show up on time. I'm always a happy person at work. I'm very good at whatever I'm doing. And I keep getting better. And the other thing I'm nominally good at is being a boyfriend and now a fiance. I think I'm okay at it. You know, like I definitely got some stuff to work on here. But according to her and according to just the situation so far, it seems like I'm okay about it. And that's great. I got some positive personality attributes that have been helping me out. Like good work ethic and a positive romantic view on life. But there are other things, including things that happen at work and in my romantic life, that I don't know what's best. I'm just kind of going for it and shooting blind sometimes. Well, this seems like a good idea. Let's go for it. And the intuition I'm using to make those decisions, have a little bit of knowledge in there maybe. And that's why some of those decisions end well. But I know some of those decisions do not end well. And they don't end well because the input is not good, and therefore the output won't be any good. I feel like I'm rambling, but I feel like it's very guided right now. I feel like I know right where I'm going, so don't let me get off track. Thank you. When you tell someone to just believe in themselves and they're in a position where they do not know who the hell they are, it's counterproductive. And it hurts them. It hurts you because, I mean, can you imagine someone like, okay, let's do another little hypothetical here. You got a buddy. And you are this, progressive, new-minded atheist who can control your own values and stuff. And that might be a bad example, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. And this person comes up to you. They kind of have tears in their eyes. And they go, hey, man, so I just got broke up with. And I don't know what happened. Everything was going so well. And then, over the course of 2 days, it just completely disintegrated. She won't talk to me anymore. She's just fallen off. She says she needs some more time. And I don't know. It came out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. And then you go, well, she's just a bad person, man. You got to believe in yourself. You got to love yourself. Shit happens. I am not steel manning here, but hear me out. right? Okay, back to the hypothetical. She probably wasn't in it in the first place. And, women suck. It's like, what? I don't think a progressive, new-minded, postmodern atheist would say women suck. But, you get the point. It's like, maybe not. Maybe it's just your buddy who's also been, modernized. It's like, hey, man, women suck. They just kind of use you and then they dump you and they get rid of you. And, there's nothing you could have done about it, man. And the guy who had a really deep connection with this woman and somehow missed all of these signs, now who feels manipulated and used and lied to, well, maybe it's his fault, right? Shocking. I had a kind of similar situation earlier on in my life where I was not paying attention. I was not watching out. And then, boom, the relationship was over. And it was like, what the hell? What happened? And I was wrecked by it. And way too much, right? I should not have been this upset by it, but I was. And the reason I was so upset by it is because I had no idea what the hell happened. I couldn't answer anything. And if I had had someone look at me and say, well, nothing you could have done, man. You got to love yourself. You got to believe in yourself. Some people just suck. It's like, wait, but what happened? Is that it? Do I just write it off as some people suck and move on? Women suck? It can't be that. Women don't suck. Women are great. So are men. We're all pretty great. And we all suck. It's a little bit of both. I'm rambling now. But it's okay. I don't know. I hope the point I'm making here is clear enough. What do you mean by believe in yourself? We'll go back to this before I have some more coffee and then go to work. What do you mean by that? Believe in the values that I have in me somewhere that I haven't discovered yet? Should I believe in the monkey that's in me who just wants to do hedonistic things and not have any responsibilities in life and just live like a animal? Like, who is me that you're telling to believe myself? Who is me that you're telling to love? And you don't even know that. You don't even know who I am, really. And you're telling me all these things. Great. Thank you. And if you do that for 10 years, like what happened to some of my friends growing up and some of my peers, you tell them that they just got to believe in themselves and that they should love themselves, and then they get they get out into society and they just completely crumble and they end up living with their parents again because they have no idea what's going on. But that's all right. It's society's fault, not their fault, because they are perfect. And they love themselves, and they believe in themselves. They just can't make it work in today's society because it's capitalistic, whatever the fudge. It's the patriarchy. It's the corrupt, best country in the world, greatest time to be alive. But no, it's the society's fault that you can't make it in life. Yeah, I understand. I am so glad that I had parents who told me that I was not perfect and that I was flawed. And they didn't say it. They didn't use it like an insult. They said, no, you're wrong, doofus. Do this or something else, just not that. It doesn't work. It's bad. And then after that, the parents can't do everything for you. You got to kind of find a way to make yourself work outside of the home. Hopefully, right, in the perfect world, the parents set you up perfectly. And they send you out that you have all the requisite skill sets to at least start off. And I think I kind of did. My parents did a very damn good job of setting me up, I think, for that. But I still had things to learn. And so I go out into the world, and I start getting depressed, and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I find philosophy. And philosophy damn near changed, well, I don't even want to say damn near. Philosophy changed my life. That seeking of a truth, of wisdom, of knowledge that I know is out there that I do not have within me, that I need to find in order to succeed in life. I need to search out these things to believe in, because I can't believe in anything that's going on right now within me because I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I am. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm in the, like I said earlier, 5 seconds ago, I'm in the greatest time to be alive, and yet somehow I'm unhappy. And why? Well, it's because I'm not thinking the right things. Really, it's because I'm not looking at life the right way. Really. That's why I was sad. That's why I was angry. And that's why I was starting to become nihilistic. And those go together. I was nihilistic because of all these things. And then I was probably getting a little depressed because I was nihilistic. Who wouldn't get depressed if you think nothing matters? And we're all just a coincidence. That we're all just blobs of flesh that float through the universe with no point and no purpose. Yeah, that'd make me pretty sad. And then I discovered philosophy and the idea that maybe there is something going on a little bit more than just chemistry. I don't know about God, but there's certainly something like that out there, it seems like. There is certainly some kind of force that dictates or influences existence. Because I'll tell you this, there are very few things that I've ever gotten away with that I did wrong. And that's not a coincidence. You know, you'll hear people say, well, Kyle, Joseph Stalin was pretty successful because he was so powerful and evil. And it's like, well, I don't know what you mean by success there, bud. He ran a completely corrupt country and murdered, or was at least responsible for the murder of, tens of millions of people. And he ended up becoming a paranoid individual who died in a puddle of his own piss. Is that successful? And I know what they mean, right? He was successful. He did a lot of bad things. That's what they mean by successful. So, and that makes me a little worried. Why is that considered success to you? But no, okay, I won't think too much into that. You're saying, oh, Kyle, look at how bad he did despite being bad. And it's like, yeah, but you wouldn't want to be him. You wouldn't want to be that person. You want to be, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, like getting away with things. Yeah, Stalin didn't get away with it. He managed to do a lot of bad before he got punished. Yeah, I'll give you that. He didn't get away with it, though. And now that I've blown up the example by using someone like Stalin, I'm going to come back to me. I have gotten punished for almost everything I've done. Almost. I've gotten away with some things, I guess, technically speaking. But I've done a little bit of... I have felt very guilty for the better part of some time for doing these things. So it still weighs heavily on me sometimes. So I don't know if I've gotten away with it, so to speak. And I don't know. This is why I don't like the whole believe in yourself, is because you're not right. You don't know anything. You're so wrong, and you have so many built-in flaws that will lead you down to the depths of hell if you just believe in yourself. And I am going to believe in the potential of the union of myself and my girlfriend and my family and my friends. There's nothing about myself in solitude that would do any good in this world without other people. And so I'm not going to just believe in myself. I'm not just going to love myself. I'm not going to just different strokes for different folks and find something that makes me hedonistically happy and say, well, this obviously is my thing in life. This is what I'm supposed to do because it makes me happy. No. I'm going to adopt responsibility that I don't want to take. I'm going to try to work out a little bit more. I'm going to eat a little less. I'm going to try to love my girlfriend a little more. Fiance, sorry. I'm going to try to talk to my family more. And I'm not saying these are things I don't want to do. I'm saying these are things that are hard to do, that you have to push yourself to and remind yourself to do. And I'm going to do all these things because maybe I want to get to the point where I can believe in myself. And maybe I want to get to the point where I like myself. And I do. I like myself. I don't love myself. I like myself. I'm pretty cool. I got some problems. I'm working on them. But I like it. I like where I'm at. And I can't wait to see how much better it gets. But it won't get any better if I just start accepting who I am. And to go back to where I started, I can't think of anything worse to tell ourselves and to tell our fellow people who especially are having such hard times nowadays, not necessarily financially, or they're not having a hard time finding a bite to eat. They're having a hard time finding themselves. I see this, that there is this lack of vision in my peers. I mean, I talk to people all the time. And sometimes I get to the point where I can have deep conversations with them, and there's something missing. And I find that thing missing in myself, too, during these conversations. It's this really tragic aimlessness that's in a lot of people. And by just telling these lost people that they should just believe in themselves is terrible. There is something else to believe in. And what I'm going to believe in is that there is truth out there that I have to find that will help me live my life and will help me interact with other people's lives better. There is something out there that is not within me that will help me and other people by me finding it out. And I'm going to find those things. And hopefully when I find those things, you're listening while I'm talking. And then both of us can go, wow, that's cool. You know? That's what I hope for. And I'm going to keep trying to do that. So thank you for listening. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go have myself a coffee. And I have about 15 minutes until I have to leave for work. So never mind. I guess I'm going to go get ready. So anyways, thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.